The 2021 Mercedes-AMG GT53 four-door, driven. 5 years into its lifecycle, and the AMG GT sports car has grown into its own dedicated lineup that includes a convertible and the car you see here, a sedan that Mercedes markets as a four-door, ahem, four-door coupe. This specific model blends the sporty essence of the coupe with the comfort, practicality, and family-friendliness of a traditional sedan. We got to spend an entire week with the AMG GT53, the middleman between the new GT43 and the GT63, and GT63 S, to see just what it's like to live with the sportiest four-door car Mercedes makes. Mercedes-AMG GT53 four-door overview. Based on the AMG GT sports car, the GT four-door is the sportiest four-door car that Mercedes makes, and it traditionally goes against other low-slung German sedans. Cars like the Audi S7, BMW 8 Series Grand Coupe, and even the Porsche Panamera immediately come to mind. It's priced very close to the six-figure range in both GT43 and GT53 form, while the bonkers GT63 drives well into six-figure territory. The GT, as a lineup, has been on the market since 2016, but the four-door has only been in production since 2018. For the basis of this review, we are comparing the GT53 to its natural rival, the Audi S7, and something a little more out of the box, the Lexus GSF. Mercedes-AMG GT53 four-door drivetrain, performance and economy. While the AMG GT63 is powered by a brutal, fire-spitting V8, the GT53 is more relaxed with a hybridized, 3.0-liter six-cylinder. This engine, however, still exudes the sportiness that you'd expect and performance that's worthy of praise. Q. How much power does the AMG GT53 have? Q. The AMG GT53's 3.0-liter hybrid powertrain pumps out 429 horsepower and 384 pound-feet of torque. This puts it short of the V8-powered Lexus GSF with 467 horsepower and 389 pound-feet of torque, and the Audi S7, also a hybrid V6 with 444 horsepower and 443 pound-feet of torque. Q. How fast is the Mercedes-AMG GT53 four-door? Q. The AMG GT53 four-door can sprint to 60 miles per hour in 4.4 seconds and will top out at 174 miles per hour. It's an impressive time for a car of its size, and that makes it faster than the V8-powered Lexus GSF, which makes the same sprint in 4.5 seconds and tops out at 168 miles per hour. The Audi S7, on the other hand, wins the short sprint at just 4.1 seconds, but will lose in the long run as it's electronically limited to 155 miles per hour. Q. How much does the Mercedes-AMG GT four-door weigh? Q. The Mercedes-AMG GT four-door weighs 4,594 pounds in GT53 form, which makes it more than 500 pounds heavier than the Lexus GSF at 4,034 pounds, but a few pounds lighter than the Audi S7 at 4,597 pounds. Mercedes-AMG GT53 four-door fuel economy. The Mercedes-AMG GT53 four-door manages 19 mpg in the city, 24 mpg on the highway and 21 mpg combined. These figures put it well above the Lexus GSF, which comes at just 16 in the city and 19 combined, although it does match the AMG's 24 mpg highway rating. As for the Audi S7, it's the definite winner if you're into fuel economy and highway driving. It falls short with just 18 mpg in the city, but it manages 28 mpg on the highway and 22 mpg combined. Q. Does the AMG GT53 four-door come with AWD? Q. The Mercedes-AMG GT53 four-door comes standard with AWD, as does one of its primary competitors, the Audi S7. The Lexus GSF, on the other hand, still rocks out a RWD layout. Mercedes-AMG GT53 four-door interior design. The interior of the AMG GT 4-door 53 is, essentially, identical to that of the AMG GT Coupe with the exception of, you guessed it, the rear seats. Ahead of the flat-bottom steering wheel sits Mercedes' digital instrument cluster that's seamlessly joined with the MBUX infotainment system. There is plenty of soft-touch leather to go around, and the wood trim reminds you that you're definitely in a premium vehicle. Like the GT Coupe, the center console sits high, and the driver's position is somewhat low. It doesn't hamper visibility or lead to discomfort, but you still feel like you're in a sports car of sorts, even with the rear seats and extra set of doors. Oddly enough, it really is odd. The rear seats are just as sporty as the front seats and just as supportive too. So, you don't have to worry about your 5-year-old bouncing around in the back as you enter the highway at 130 miles per hour in a tight bend. Overall, the cabin is very comfortable, the seats are as supportive as they need to be, and there is even plenty of usable storage space. All in all, it's a nice cabin to be in, and a good compromise if you want a GT but can't afford to leave the family behind because you only have 2 seats. Q. How much interior space does the AMG GT 4-door have? Q. The interior of the AMG GT 4-door is a lot more spacious than its coupe counterpart, and it's more spacious than the competition as well. Front passengers get 40.8 inches of headroom, 57.8 inches of shoulder room, and 58.9 inches of hip room. Rear passengers enjoy 38.2 inches of headroom, 57.2 inches of shoulder room, and 58.6 inches of hip room. Mercedes has yet to release legroom figures, but we found it to be impressively roomy for any 4-door vehicle. As for the competition, outside of legroom, of which we cannot speak, the GT 4-door beats out the Lexus GSF and Audi S7 in every single category. Check out the table below to see the comparison for yourself. Q. How much cargo room does the AMG GT 4-door have? Q. The AMG GT 4-door can lug around just 12.7 cubic feet of cargo, so if you routinely carry a lot with you, you might want to look to the Lexus GSF, which has 14.0 cubic feet, or the Audi S7 with 24.6 cubic feet. We never had an issue with cargo, though, so for most people who look to this segment, the GT 4-door's cargo room should be enough. Unless you buy half the store every time you go grocery shopping, anyway. A. Mercedes-AMG GT 4-door exterior design. If you're like me, your very first impression of the GT 4-door is that it's just an AMG'd Mercedes CLS on steroids. Well, you're not completely wrong, as it really does look a hell of a lot like the CLS, and I wouldn't be surprised if Mercedes even used the CLS as a base, but it is actually different. The roofline, for example, is just a bit longer and the body lines are clearly different. The front end does look a lot like the GT Coupe, too. I'm still not a fan of how the car has that bent look to it from a distance, but the overall design really does grow on you each time you look at it in person. So, if you haven't seen the GT 4-door in person, don't dismiss it quite yet, you really do need to see it firsthand to make a clear judgment. Q. How big is the Mercedes-AMG GT 4-door? Q. The AMG GT 4-door measures 199.2 inches long, 81.5 inches wide, and 57.3 inches tall. It rides on a 116.2-inch wheelbase. The front track measures 65.9 inches while the rear track comes in at 65.6 inches. This makes it a relatively large vehicle, but compared to the competition it's a bit of a mixed bag. As an example, it's longer and taller than both the Lexus GSF and the Audi S7, but it's not as wide. It also has the widest front and rear tracks of the group as well. In terms of garageability, don't even think about a single car garage. It'll fit in most 1.5 car garages, but it's a tight fit, so we'd recommend it a 2-car garage minimum so that you have the added comfort of space. A. Mercedes-AMG GT 4-door pricing. Since the AMG GT 4-door is a dedicated model from AMG, there's technically no entry-level version. However, Mercedes did recently introduce the GT43, which starts from $89.9 and is a bit more affordable than our GT53 tester, which starts out at $99,950. Beyond this model, there's the GT63 with a $140,600 price tag and the GT63 S, which commands $161,900. Our tester was the most expensive of the bunch in regard to the models we've compared it to, with the Lexus GSF starting at just $85,010 and the Audi S7 Prestige starting at $91,345. Q. Is the AMG GT 4-door better than the Lexus GSF? Q. The Lexus GSF is your typical Lexus sedan with the bold spindle grille up front, reasonably mundane rear end, and a toned-down body styling. However, you might be able to find quite a deal on the GSF as Lexus ended production of the GSF in 2020, which means any remaining will be priced to move. The downside to the GSF is that it's also quite dated. The interior is very nice and very sporty, but the infotainment system is a bit dated. You do get a cool digital instrument cluster and it does feel like a proper sports sedan, but the GT 4-door is, quite literally, a generation of tech ahead. The GSF is powered by a 5.0-liter V8, which evokes more emotion than the 3.0-liter six-banger we had in the GT53. The GT 4-door is available with a V8, but it'll cost you a minimum of $140,000, so there's that. The GSF is also more powerful than the GT53 at 467 horsepower and 389 pound-feet of torque, but its AWD and the 8-speed automatic transmission is a bit dated in comparison. The GSF will run even with the GT53 on a good day to 60 miles per hour, but will fall short in top speed down the line. Prior to production being cut, GSF started at $85,010, and you could probably get a good discount on any model still sitting at a dealer today. Read our full review on the Lexus GSF. Q. Is the Mercedes-AMG GT 4-door better than the Audi S7? Q. A. If you thought the GT53 4-door was competing against the Audi RS7, you're wrong. The Audi S7 actually matches it pretty well in terms of interior technology. It's also recently new to the market for this generation, and comfort is on point too. You won't find as much interior space, but the S7 is also a bit smaller and a bit easier to deal with in tight streets. It's also a clear winner in terms of cargo capacity, being able to carry nearly double at 24.6 cubic feet. Like the GT53, the S7 features a hybridized six-banger, in this case a 2.9-liter V6. It delivers a cool 444 horsepower and 443 pound-feet of torque and, believe it or not, it's one of the fastest in its class, taking just 4.1 seconds to get to 60 miles per hour. As is the usual case with most German cars, top speed is capped at 155 miles per hour. Fuel economy is another bonus here with ratings of 18 mpg in the city, 28 mpg on the highway and 22 mpg combined. Pricing for the S7 starts out below the $90,000 mark, but you should probably go for the Prestige if you like to click option boxes on entry models. It's a strong contender to the GT53 and starts out at $91,345, nearly $9,000 less than you'll pay for the GT53. Read our full review on the Audi S7.
If you liked this video, please share your thoughts in the comments below and don't forget to hit the subscribe button.